Hi everyone, hope you're doing amazing today. We're doing really well, thank you. My name is Carolina Fonseca Jimenez. I focus on doing children's books that promote love, unity, and peace. And as many of you know, we interpret dreams here. The reason that we do that is because it's a way for us to connect with our subconscious. Now, as many of you also know, we are sharing them. We share them so that we can connect with one another on a more profound level. So guys, I am still over here in San Miguel de Allende and I am having a blast. Okay, for those of you that follow me on Facebook, you've seen that a lot of what we're doing down here is we are sharing the message of Lupita and the magic of Mexico. We are sharing our little book. We are sharing it with members of this community, this wonderful and amazing community, and it's been really great because I've gotten to meet so many of the local street vendors, a lot of the people that have been here all of their lives, that were born here, so they're giving me some of this wonderful history of this city, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's been such a magical experience for me. But I want to tell you a little bit about what I've been learning while I'm down here in regards to the dreams that people have. Okay, so whenever I'm talking to people, you know, we're talking about Lupita and the magic of Mexico. I'm sharing the book, and that's great. That's fantastic. But guys, the part that's really kind of intriguing to me is when we start talking about the other person. I love to ask them, you know, I love to know, what was your dream when you were younger? What was it that you really wanted to do when you were younger? What was that vision that you had? And I've been getting a lot of the same responses from people, and that is that they're saying, you know, I had this dream. I had this dream when I was little that I wanted to do this. And now what we're talking about are not dreams of when we're sleeping, although you know we interpret those dreams because they help guide us. But the dreams we're talking about here are those desires and that passion that you have inside of your heart to do a particular thing in your life, right? So I'm asking them, I'm like, so what was your dream when you were younger? You know, what was it? And they tell me, and they're like, Carolina, you know, my dream was X, Y, or Z. They're like, but you know what? That was when I was very little. That was a long time ago, and you know, that's just a dream, so I don't pay attention to it anymore. And I found that so interesting because, guys, like we talked about in the other video, the dream that you have, that passion that you have to do something, that is part of your mission in life. Okay, that's part of your mission in life. So I'm hearing people say, you know, yeah, this was my dream at one point, but you know what, I let it go because that was just a childish thing. That was something that I thought about as a child, and it no longer applies. But what's interesting to me is that it no longer applies, but yet they still remember this desire that was in their hearts. And like we talked about last time, guys, whatever energy you believe in, whether it be God, your angels, the universe, whatever energy, we are all part of this amazing and wonderful universe. And if you have a desire in your heart to do something, a dream that you have, a passion that you have, the universe will help you to make sure that it gets done. And I know this from experience. You have to remember this. I don't tell you stuff that I wish was true or that I read somewhere. I tell you things that I've experienced in my life, okay? So I know this for a fact. Whenever you have a dream to do something, whenever you have a passion to do something, the universe, the energy around you is going to help to make sure that it happens. It's going to make sure that it happens for you. I'll give you an example of my personal story, okay? So whenever I was going through that really stressful time in my life where I didn't know what to do with my life, and I'm like, you know I want to do something amazing. I know I want to put something out there in the world, but I didn't know what it was. And like, I couldn't put my finger on it. Has that ever happened to you where you're like, you know you're supposed to do something, you know you're supposed to share something with the world, but you don't know what it is? That happened to me, guys. I was totally in that boat, but I was creating so much anxiety on myself. I was putting so much pressure on myself. Part of the reason I was doing that was because, you know, they tell you that in society, they say, if you've got a dream, if you have a goal, you have your goal here. Now, let's think of all the little steps that you need to make sure you get to this goal. And that's all fine and dandy, guys. But the thing was that I was doing that. I was doing that before. Excuse me. I would have a goal here and I'm like, this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen. And I would do that. It would have to be like a little step. But then I would get to here and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. It still doesn't feel like this is the thing for me. And I could not understand why that was happening. But then I started realizing I was putting so much control over myself and I was putting so much control on my life. I was saying, this is my goal, this is my dream, but it has to happen in this particular way. And when it didn't happen in this particular way, it was like that need for control, right? But when it didn't happen in that particular way, it would leave me unsatisfied at the end for some reason. And it's interesting because we think about this now, and I've been talking to people here in San Miguel, and what we were finding was that, we have this goal, but we put so much pressure on ourselves to make sure that it goes down this line, that what we're really saying to the universe is like, yes, I want this, but it has to go in this way. And guys, the universe is huge. It's immense. It's a magical thing that's living and it's breathing. And if we're telling it, this is what I want, and it can only go this way, that is the only option we're giving it. But the universe is so huge and it's so creative and amazing that we are not allowing our universe, we are not allowing our angels or God, whatever energy you believe in, you're not allowing that energy to really help guide you or help push you in the direction of your real dream. You're putting so much restrictions on yourself and so many restrictions on the universe as to how to get to this dream. All right? And guys, when the community members here would say, yeah, this was my dream, but that was when I was a child, I'll tell you something. The dreams that you have, that passion that you have inside of your heart to do something, like we've talked about in the other videos, that is part of your mission in life. Okay, so as soon as you have that, you need to give more energy to that. The more energy that you give to your dream, to your passion, the more that you're going to understand your mission in life. You don't have to know all the little details to get here. You don't have to know them. I know that sounds very backwards. Totally, I know that, because in school they teach us you have to have point A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever to get here. But okay, I'll tell you the reality of what happened to me, and many of you already know this. When I was going through that difficult time in my life, I was like, you know what, universe, I give up. I give up trying to control everything in my life. I want freedom. I want to feel free. I want your help. I accept your help. I literally had to go through the process of letting go of all of this control, of having to control every aspect of my life. I said, you know what? I'm going to let that go. I don't need to control every aspect of my life. I need the universe's help. And I know that I want to get here. I want to get to a place of love, unity, and peace. And I want to share that with the world. I have no idea how that's going to look like, but that's what I want. That's what I was putting out to the universe, guys. And then later what ended up happening, like many of you know, I got the name of Lupita and the Magic of Mexico. When I got that name in my head, I was like, wow, that is a great name. And I'm like, that is a good idea. I didn't know it was going to be a book. I had no idea it was going to be a book, right? So I didn't know all of these little steps, no idea. But I knew that name meant something, and I knew that name was going to open so many doors for me, so many possibilities for me. It was just a feeling I had. I had no math to back it up. I had no statistics to back it up. All I had was the feeling, okay? All I had was that feeling. And I get emotional about that because, you know me, I'm like very in tune with my emotional side, so you know that. But it gets me a little bit emotional because it's like I finally realized I didn't have to have all of the answers. I just had to have the freedom to allow the universe to help me, and I had to have that passion. I had to give more energy to this passion of love, unity, and peace, and spreading that with the world, even though I didn't know how that would look, right? But the first step was getting that name of Lupita and the Magic of Mexico. Once I got that, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Then, guys, it was days that went by, months that went by, and then years that went by. Until I found myself one day in front of my laptop, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to open this thing up. And I saw that I wrote Lupita and the Magic of Mexico, and I just started writing. And a couple hours later, I was like, wow, this kind of looks like a book. That's what happened. That's how I wrote Lupita and the Magic of Mexico. It was literally like it just happened in the moment. Didn't plan it. I don't know. I can just tell you what happened. I cannot tell you exactly how. I can just tell you how. I remember it happening. And anyways, I wrote down the book, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like I get it. This is my book, and I'm supposed to share this book. So it was very strange, but like I'm telling you, love, unity, and peace is what I wanted to share with the world. I didn't know the steps to take, but I was opening my mind to the possibilities of the universe, and then things were presented to me. The name of the book, me actually writing the book. I started reconnecting with people that I forgot completely about, that would help me along this way in creating my book. Okay, then when I created the book, opportunities started coming to me. As you've seen, I've been invited to go on to Latinos NCTV, our local La Grande radio with Diana Flores, my little bomboncito, which we all love so much. and the Revista Latina, the magazine. Okay, so when I tell you that all I did was put my energy out there and allow the universe to help me, and this stuff came to me, I can't make this stuff up, guys. I really cannot make this stuff up. And I know that some of you are like, yeah, that's really far-fetched. That's not going to happen to me. That's just like a one in a lifetime kind of thing. It isn't. It's really not. And the reason I know that is because I lived it, and because I used to think like that. I used to think like you. I used to say, yeah, that happened for them, but I don't know if it'll happen for me because I have these problems all over me. I have all of these problems around me because I was surrounding myself with that, guys. So this week, I want for us to work on this together. I want us to let go of the need for control. Let's let go of controlling our lives so much. Let's let go of controlling those little tiny details in our life. Let's just focus on our dream. What is that passion that you have deep down inside that you haven't been wanting to share with the world? What is it? Whatever that is, let's give energy to that this week. Any little thing that comes to our mind, any little idea that presents itself that brings us closer to this, that you feel an emotional connection to, do it. Keep doing whatever you feel leads you closer to this. You don't have to know the exact steps, guys. I'm telling you, you don't have to know them, but you do have to let go of the control. We don't need to control every single aspect of our lives. There's no need for that. Let's allow the universe to help us. Let's allow that beautiful energy to guide us every single day. All right, guys, so that's what we're going to work on this week, okay? I am going to continue to explore San Miguel de Allende, and I'm going to continue to meet amazing people, wonderful people, lovely kids, and I will be sharing more pictures on my Facebook, so be sure to check that out. If you need help with your dream interpretation or understanding your dream language, I'm happy to help you. As you know, though, you have your individual dream language, and I can help you figure that out, but only you know it, okay, guys? I send you love, unity, and peace. Let's work on that this week, and I'll talk to you later. See you back in the States. Bye.